Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Good morning. Welcome to Mornings at the Cabin. Wheeler with you on your Thursday morning. Lecter is slowly taking off his coat and his hood and is ambling towards mic number 4. This is how we start our days and no other way. Wait, I had an intro. Whoa, wow, that was loud. Are you all right?
Dragging my butt today.
Just kind of crashed into the seat there.
Just gotta crash into it sometime.
Crash into me.
Why don't we like that? We like a nice slow morning.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, well, it's Thursday. It's not Friday just yet. We can drag ass for another day, and then Friday you feel a little bit more motivated.
Drag ass we shall.
That's right. Drag ass weekend. It's -5. It's actually it's -7 right now, I should say. We're only getting up to +4 today, so I guess global warming is a hoax. Or climate change, however you want to call it. What? I had an intro for this morning. Remember that last night? We came up with a whole intro.
Did we?
Yeah. Remember, it was really funny.
Remember that.
It was really funny.
Huh.
Me, you, and Corinne talked about an opening for today's show. It was the opening line, and now I can't remember what it is. Let's think on it.
Okay.
All right. Silence is golden.
We'll figure out our intro in the second segment.
Yeah, that's right. We'll take a couple minutes. We'll come back, and we'll have a whole new intro for you. It's going to be great. The weather's going to be fluctuating over the next few days. We're going to go between +4s and 5s to -4s and 5s as well. So I don't really know what to tell you. It's pretty slick out there. I would be careful on your commute this morning. But hey, it's all going to melt this afternoon anyway. So spring has sprung. I'm sure we'll get another winter soon.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Mornings at the Cabin, Wheeler and Lecter with you on your Thursday morning. Yesterday at around 12:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Disney finalized its merger with Fox. So Disney continues its
How do you know the exact minute
takeover.
that it happened?
And that's what it said.
Wow.
Yeah, 12:02.
Okay.
Yeah. So Disney
detailed.
continues its slow takeover of the world.
Uh-huh.
Deadpool is now a Disney character. Homer Simpson, now a Disney character.
Right.
Yeah. So Disney kind of has an umbrella over all of these things.
Right.
And this is something that the Simpsons predicted years ago. I know we always have these memes where the Simpsons predicted this, they predicted this. Some are accurate, some are not. This one, it was an episode, I believe, season 15 or 16 or something like that, where in the background it just said Disney Fox something or other. So it was like an amalgamation logo.
Does this also mean that like Tucker Carlson is a Disney character and Sean Hannity,
yeah,
Disney
that's right.
character?
Yeah, villains, Disney villains. So you're going to be able to see anthropomorphic, like large-scale Tucker Carlsons at Disney World now, and you can kick him while he's down.
They got to bring back Bill O'Reilly out of retirement. That is the Disney character.
That's right.
And villain.
See that?
Not to be trifled
They
with.
will not make a mascot outfit for him. They will just like bring him out at Disney World, and he'll just scream at people, and all the kids will be like, ah! It's like Maleficent.
It's the O'Reilly monster.
Yeah, so they agreed to a $52.4 billion deal in 2017, but they upped its offer to close the deal at $71 billion.
Now we're talking.
$71 billion. Disney put this forth. This is the merger, $71 billion merger. Here's the thing. It's going to cost people thousands of jobs. Like, that's what's being kind of forecasted. At least hundreds, if not thousands of jobs are going to be lost because of this merger, because that's what happens when you merger. You trim off the fat, and you try to make as much money as possible. So Disney, as wonderful as all those characters are, and as much as we love Pixar and all our Disney princesses and princes and all these things, and we want them to be progressive, and they are, and blah, 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 blah. They are kind of evil. They're just they're basically a mega corporation at this point, and they can make money off of almost anything and trademark almost anything.
And more every day.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, what's the next thing to take over? Warner Brothers. So they have the entire slate of all the Marvel characters. Because I think under 20th Century Fox, it was the Fantastic Four were owned by 20th Century Fox, whereas the X-Men are owned by Warner Brothers. So if they take over Sony, they'll have everything.
So that's next.
Well, it's just not. It's not a good way to do things. We know that monopolies on a very small scale in our territory do not work very well.
Right.
When there's no competition, it means people have control. They have control over more content than obviously any company or anything in history. And it can be a particularly bad thing, especially for jobs, but also, I don't know, mostly for jobs.
Does Disney own like Parker Brothers, Mattel, that sort of thing now?
That's a good question. Actually, I don't.
Because then
know.
they probably own Monopoly too. So
Monopoly owning,
and there, thus it's a good thing. Because,
you're not a dad yet.
Well, not as no.
But NPR's Morning Edition said is reporting that thousands of people will likely lose their jobs as Disney consolidates its properties. Note, both Walt Disney Pictures and 20th Century Fox have funded NPR. So there you go.
Oh,
well, that's the thing. So
geez.
if Disney is this big, they are on par with countries, right? They have been for a while, but they're on par with the GDP or the resources of countries. And so they can kind of swing their influence hitherto and yon, and there's not really anything anybody can do about it.
In a way, it's kind of amazing that Disney has not turned into, but is still and is like this still growing giant in this day and age. It felt like after the kind of golden era of Disney movies in the like early and mid 90s.
Yeah.
Didn't it feel like Disney was kind of fading into the background?
Well,
like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Before Little Mermaid, 89.
Yeah.
That started that kind of golden age, right?
And that was huge.
Before that,
Aladdin
there was about 20 years there where Disney was like losing money. Their movies weren't doing well. And then, Walt Disney made a deal with some sort of devil. And they just started raking in money hand over fist. Like what they did is basically invest in the best talent at the time.
Right.
Brought them all in, made these hit movies, and got enough money together to start just buying up other things. Buying up properties is basically what you do. It's either real estate or it's intellectual property. So you start buying up properties, and you can make up everything, right? So now Pixar obviously is part of Walt Disney, even though
hasn't that always been?
That has always been the case. Pixar could kind of be on their own, but that has always been the case. Marvel and now Star Wars as well are all Disney properties. And so there's a lot of content there, and it's also a matter of like having creative control over all these things.
Yeah.
So Disney's got a hand in everything. So you're gonna, it's kind of taking away from that independent voice. Right. Not that like 20th Century Fox is independent, but I mean, if Disney owns all of these things and has a finger in all these things, it's less of a chance for independent voices to get heard.
Right.
Yeah.
So, given that, I guess the biggest acquisition of this is probably the Simpsons franchise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it's the Simpsons franchise.
And given that by this day and age, the Simpsons, they've done everything.
They've done everything.
Twice or possibly 3 times over.
Yep.
Nothing really new for them to do.
No.
Except head to a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Oh,
I'd watch that. I would watch that pretty damn hard.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
This video of a raven riding on the hood of someone's car past the independent grocery store, it really irks me because I've never had a raven ride on my vehicle or like take food from me. No.
Really?
No.
Have you ever had one if you're like eating in your car? Do you eat in your car ever?
Not very much, no.
Well, sometimes.
Yeah.
They'll perch on your rear view mirror.
I know.
And they'll just stare at you.
Yeah.
Be like,
I want to make a relationship with a raven. There's just like, meet eyes and be like, hey, you're intelligent. I'm intelligent. Let's have this out.
It's not just going to happen. You got to put in the work.
I don't know. I don't feel like connecting with anybody. Which brings me to a post that a friend of mine shared this morning. Now, this is a serious post, but I'm not going to make jokes about. I'm going to make jokes about me.
Right.
I'm not going to make jokes about what this means, but it's 8 warning signs you're mentally and emotionally exhausted. And this is not meant to be funny. I'm going to tell you how I feel about it because this is how I deal with my mental and emotional exhaustion. 1, you're easily irritated. 2, you feel completely unmotivated, even to do the things you normally do or normally enjoy. 3, you're experiencing anxiety or panic attacks. 4, you're having trouble sleeping. Either it takes you hours to fall asleep or your sleep is broken throughout the night. 5, you have almost no patience and you find yourself being short with colleagues and family. 6, you're experiencing indigestion. You have a low-grade stomachache all the time or feel like there's butterflies in your stomach. 7, you start to cry unexpectedly. And 8, you feel detached from reality. You go through your days without really emotionally responding or connecting to anything. You feel empty. And my comment was, well, 5 out of 8 isn't bad, right? And they responded, only if you feel it is. And I'm like, fair enough.
Which is a perfect response.
Absolutely.
Really.
Absolutely. Only if you feel that it is.
Yeah.
And I do. I mean, I felt this, and I go through these, you go through these ups and downs, obviously. Right. But in the last couple weeks, I've been feeling very much like this. And I said 5 out of 8 because I don't cry unexpectedly.
Right.
I always expect to cry. I don't have the low grade indigestion from the anxiety.
Right.
It's just from the horrible food that I eat.
And the copious amounts of coffee.
And copious amounts of coffee. And I'm not having trouble sleeping right now because the CBD oil is doing its job.
If anything, you're sleeping too well.
No, I'm sleeping I'm sleeping the same amount, but I'm staying asleep throughout the night.
Right.
Because before I would wake up a lot.
Okay.
So I'm almost 8 out of 8, but I'll cut 3 out of those just because I know what those are and I expect them. So easily irritated. I mean, that's me. You completely unmotivated even to do things you normally enjoy. That one's a bummer because even if I get home and I see the puppy and we go out for a walk, usually I'm all jazzed up to go for a walk with the pup. And lately it's been kind of like, all right, let's go. But once I go, I feel better. Anxiety or panic attacks. I've never had an anxiety or panic attack.
Really?
Except when I was on psilocybin. But we won't get into that. No, I've never actually. Well, no, that's not true. I have had an anxiety or panic attack. They're not very common.
Right.
I know people that have them a lot. That have anxiety issues, and they have them like sometimes on a daily basis. And sometimes they're small, and sometimes they're big, and like I need to stay home.
Yeah.
But I'll have minor kind of like, okay, kind of things like that. But a full-on attack has not happened in a very long time.
I think that's one that we're all, well, not all, but the general public as a whole are still kind of waking up to. I feel like there's a lot of people who probably have anxiety and panic attacks and don't realize it's happening.
Absolutely.
So I mean, that's something that, and as we get, we're now in this age where we're all collectively waking up more to mental health and the effects and the importance that we should put on a healthy mental state and how to foster that and how to nurture that and how to continue to mind our mental health.
Absolutely.
And I thought this was interesting to talk about too because I saw your comment on my Facebook feed come up. And obviously you're making a joke about it.
I'm making a joke for me.
Yeah, exactly. With
about
regards
me
to
and
yourself.
how I kind of deal with these things.
Yes.
I'm very much like my mother. I very much use humor to diffuse my emotional state and try to do it with other people as well.
Right.
Whether it be helpful or not.
Well, I think it makes things like this easier to talk about when you use
I think it has
humor.
I think for me it has to be there.
Right.
I have to be able to talk about like in a humorous way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think a lot of, I think we call that a defense mechanism, and it actually doesn't, take the walls down completely. But I mean, I don't think that's the point.
No, it's. I feel like it's more of just kind of like a soft lead-in to something that is, potentially heavy and uncomfortable and scary to talk about.
Like, by the way, I've only cried 3 times today. Let's have a chat.
But I expected every one of them.
I've expected every one of them. I knew they were coming. I could feel the countdown. 30 seconds. I'm going to be a ball of mush.
Yes.
Yeah.
But certainly in the age of Bell Let's Talk, I think we all want, after that day happens, we increasingly year after year try to remind ourselves that this is something we should have an ongoing conversation about, not just on one day when one major corporation, says we should and is essentially profiting off it.
And I think a lot of people share their mental health obstacles, I guess you could say, in a pretty humorous way. They'll share a meme that's like, identify with this.
Absolutely.
Identify with this anxiety meme or whatever. So I think a lot of people are becoming that way, and especially at our age and younger, your age and younger as well, are way more open about it than I was at like in my 20s. In my 20s, I just drank a lot.
And I'll be honest, I only kind of got real with myself in my late 20s, like really after
so you
I
stopped
moved
being
here.
polite and you started getting real.
I started crying just nonstop. No, I mean I realized shortly after I moved to Yellowknife that I had experienced warning signs of symptoms of anxiety and depression.
Because as soon as you moved to Yellowknife, they became way worse.
They just crashed down upon me.
Yes.
And I mean, the darkness of winter, experiencing my first total winter.
Seasonal effective, like for sure, man.
Yeah, I mean, like you experience reduced daylight hours, anywhere else in Canada as well, but it's not as jarring when you move, north of 60.
Yeah.
So I think that undoubtedly had a major effect on it.
Yeah.
But it was also, I was, I was kind of shuffling it off with other things, other distractions in my life, and not really addressing the issues head on. But shortly after I moved here, my first like winter and spring was a tough one in Yellowknife. And I at some point I hit a kind of a turning point where I was like, this is something that I'm going to have to pay more attention to and make sure that I'm taking care of myself essentially, and not, living up to some unrealistic standards that I've set for myself for whatever reason. And it's been good. I'm doing a lot better now than I was 3-4 years ago. And I think part of it is because we are surrounded increasingly by a culture that it has woken up to this as a real thing and is treating it as a serious, a serious thing, not just, God, Frank's grumpy today. I guess we better leave him alone.
We're all waking up to the fact, most of us are waking up to the fact that like we've all had these issues.
Yes.
A lot of us have had these issues. We're just identifying them, and we've been identifying them in a different way. Like, that guy's just a grump. It's like, well, maybe he's like clinically depressed.
Yeah.
And people are talking about a heck of a lot more. Check out, not on Cabin Radio, but still, check out Ryland Johnson's podcast if you get a chance. It's on anchor.fm. It's called Dispatches from the Scandamaniac, where he is just sitting down with people that he knows, friends of his, and people that he wants to talk to. And they talk about all kinds of things, mental health being chief among them. So that's a pretty cool podcast to check out. You should do it on Cabin Radio. And there is there's a lot more talk about it, and this can only be a good thing.
Absolutely. And with all this in mind too, really cool event.
Yes.
Not next week or anything, but May 6th to 12th.
Well, that's a wait.
I'll forget about it.
Yeah.
No, we'll talk about it a few times at least, but leading up. But Mental Health Week is May 6th to 12th.
Yes.
And the Racket Club is doing something really cool. They are doing a spin-a-thon fundraiser for mental health.
Nice.
They have 27 bikes. So the first 27 people who can make it down to register once they open the registration will get bikes. Those people will be given the opportunity to raise money with pledges, that sort of thing, and basically work your butt off to help everyone else.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast.
Now, we usually don't cover things like this on the morning show, but
really,
this is pretty good.
I feel like this is right in our wheelhouse.
This is right in our wheelhouse, right in our bread basket. We know where our bread is buttered. It's fart videos. Mornings at the Cabin.
You think we're kidding?
Yeah, we're not. But this just tickled us both pink. After having a brief discussion about mental health and mental wellness, we found a video that so nothing can derail like a serious moment or a quiet moment, much like the thing that we all do about 30 times a day but are horribly embarrassed by. There was a snooker match in the UK. Judd Trump, no relation, lines up for a shot as he attempts to mount a comeback against Ronnie O'Sullivan.
The mood is tense.
The mood is tense. I wish Ollie were here for this because he would know who those two people were.
He would, yeah.
But right before he's lining up his shot, and there's no way that this is not on purpose. This guy was waiting on it. He was just like, oh, wait for the shot.
This guy was like, this is my moment.
This is my moment. Damn all of yours. and lets one rip. And it's quiet. It's a very small arena that these snooker matches are held in, are very small space. So he just lets one rip. And I'm not going to play it for you, but it was great.
Oh, come on.
It was great.
No, play it.
Oh, my God.
The announcer commentary after is just the best. The fact that they acknowledged it.
Incredible.
Play it.
Okay, I got to play it. And yeah, so the announcers in their most Britishness are wonderful. And I just, yeah, sorry, this is where Mornings at the Cabin has come to on a Thursday morning. Where is it?
There we go.
Yeah. He's lining up a shot. This is Judd Trump lining up a shot. Oh.
A bit of noise in the crowd there.
Bit of noise.
I don't know what that sounded like. It sounded a bit strange. Well, the last time I heard a noise like that, I think it was playing against Big Bill Werbenick many years ago.
Big Bill, notorious.
Settle down now, please. Thank you.
Right there, the ref's right there. Settle down now, please. Thank you. It's... for whatever reason, that tickled me pink just now.
And everyone needed that. You could
I think
tell.
so. Yeah, it was too tense.
It was too tense.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you to whoever did that.
Unknown hero.
You're not the hero we need. You're the hero we deserve. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Real highbrow entertainment here on the morning show.
He knew what that noise was.
He did. Everyone knew what that noise was. Strange sound out in the crowds. Last time I heard a song like that was against Big Bill Withers there. Bill Withers. Oh, yeah, that's not his name. Gotta laugh so you don't cry.
Ain't
Tina
no
Turner.
sunshine.
We don't need another hero. We got the snooker farter.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
Go to Cabin Radio NWT Facebook page. You will see the newest Wheeler versus Ollie video. It's brought to you by Skills Canada NWT, and we decided to do the baking challenge. That's right. We went to Sir John, went into their, I don't know what room they call that, the cooking room.
The kitchen.
All right.
No? Seems logical. To be fair.
Let's start again. Fits in the tantrums, Mike. The kitchen.
To be fair, there's tables and chairs.
Because it's a classroom.
Desks in there. It's not like a normal kitchen.
All right, so we went to the kitchen.
Yeah.
And we just,
the cooking room.
The cooking room.
AKA.
The cooking place. And the challenge was to cook pizza pinwheels. So we had to make some dough, chop up our ingredients. There, I just saw a clip of me chopping up with a very dull knife, but get them in there, get them in the
That's
oven.
reality,
Who
though.
made the best pizza pinwheels? I will not give away the ending. I won. I even after I forgot to preheat my oven.
Oh yeah,
This was a good challenge, though. My pizza, both pinwheels came out pretty good.
better than expected.
Absolutely,
sure.
absolutely better than expected. But,
especially if you watch the video and you see the first one that Ollie places on his pizza
God,
tray.
look at that thing.
And it just looks like a little dough tent.
Looks like a turd. Mine look overstuffed, and they did explode a little bit, but
that was
the
a good
flavor
thing.
was there. The flavor was there. We had 3 of the students to be judges, blindfolded judges, not actually blindfolded, just blind. We took 3 blind students and wanted them to taste our food. I will not give away the ending. I won. But go check out the video. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun with these Skills Canada videos. I love these.
We do. I don't know if you're aware,
I am.
but Ollie actually was stealing stuff from you during
I'm sure
the
he was.
competition.
Well, he always does.
Well, and usually you're kind of the one who toes the line of
cheating?
of fairness. I didn't want to say
The
cheating.
line of fairness.
Yeah.
I'm always fair.
In that you give Ollie equal opportunity.
Okay. I didn't realize he was stealing stuff from me. What was he stealing from me?
I stole pepperoni from you.
Son of a.
Yeah, which is why you
Ran
went
out
on
of pepperoni. And I
yeah,
just
went on
chopped
a
up
mad scramble.
But that actually worked out to my advantage.
Oh, it
'cause I had
totally
big
did.
chunks of pepperoni in it.
It absolutely backfired on him,
Yeah.
which was fantastic.
Well, see, cheaters never prosper, Ollie.
There you go.
They only make it this far.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
I mean, his were still pretty good, but
They were
yours,
pretty good.
yours,
Mine were
yeah.
better. and that's fine.
Yours had that desperation taste in them.
Which is what makes all good cooking taste so good.
Absolutely.
Desperation.
Again,
and
of
sweat,
course,
and possibly some hair. Also, I had a cuticle thing going on that day. There might be some blood in it.
Was that what that was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice little zest.
I thought it tasted
Yeah,
a little
gross.
extra iron.
We are gross this morning.
That was a good breakfast, though.
That was a good. I had 3 of them. And I was like, I got to go to work. It was the only thing I ate all day. Oh, my God. But check out the video at the Cabin Radio's Facebook page. We have a ton of fun doing these. Special thanks to Skills Canada, obviously, and Sir John for helping us or letting us go in there and make a complete mess of the kitchen. And there I am winning and dabbing for some reason. I don't think I've ever done that before in my life. But I was in the high school, so I was like, this is what the kids do.
Yes,
right?
very nice.
4 years
they
ago.
do that. Yeah.
I think, well, they do.
They do.
It was great, and I can't wait till the next one. I think the next one we are actually be doing like small engine repair or something like that. So something quite mechanical, because we've done the hobby horse. So we did a little bit of carpentry.
horse.
We did carpentry.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then we did
right.
the haircuts. Wow. And then we did the cooking. So now I think next we're going to do like something a bit more mechanical, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Sounds dangerous.
It does.
Skills Canada, by the way, territorial skills competition is coming up on May 3rd at the Yellowknife Multiplex. If you want to register for that or find more information, head to skillscanada.nwt.org.
Please do.
That's
Cool.
all I got.
That's good.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast, where we delete all the bad bits and make them sound at least semi-coherent.
Corinne and Leslie Ray.
Yeah,
Creed.
yeah, yeah.
Creed Ray. Are you Creed Ray?
No, I'm legally Creed. My Facebook just says Ray.
I'm legally Creed. Rocky's best
But
friend.
on Facebook, you're allowed to make up whatever name you want.
That's
So
true.
I've heard the opposite.
I
I've heard people
pretend
trying
I've
to do their
changed my
nicknames and like someone had to give
They
their
were cracking
ID to
down on that.
Facebook.
Yeah.
At one point, I saw someone post about that. They had to give their ID to Facebook to prove who it was. I was like, that sounds like a scam.
Yeah, that is
Got
100%
scammed.
a scam.
Yeah. Well, oh well. Too bad for them.
Yeah.
Leslie, you haven't been here in a long time, so welcome back. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
But I
yeah.
figured I'd reach out yesterday, and it is your first day in the greenhouse.
Today, I'm going to stop by.
Which seems early.
No, this is like, I like plants aren't in there today. I'm just going to get things a little organized, make sure that the heat is going to come on today for next week.
Yeah.
And
Is this early to get things organized, though?
No. Last year we started at the same time.
So,
Yep.
Leslie Creed is a climate change denier. That is on record now.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm outside doing this work. I do have 4 walls to protect me while I'm inside.
No, fair enough.
The greenhouse actually is like on sunny days.
Of
like
course.
this afternoon,
Well,
I
that's the whole point.
guarantee it'll probably be 20 degrees in there.
I love it. Let's
Yeah.
go live in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
Also,
I wouldn't say it's 20 degrees at night.
no, it's living there.
Yeah.
Let's go. I did want to mention this. Jonathan Whitford reached out on Facebook Messenger. He is looking for the last roll-up cup, the main store. No more roll-up cups. You got to go downtown for them roll-ups.
Yep.
This could be Jonathan's last chance.
I think
Guys,
it is.
help the man out.
Well, I think he got one this morning, but he's just letting everybody else know.
And it's
You gotta-
only large cups.
Only large cups.
Yeah.
So if you can't handle that much caffeine,
Everyone's
you're
going to be
SOL.
walking around really wired then.
That's
right.
morning.
You know what sucks is when people are like, I don't want a large. I'll take a small coffee, but can you give me the large cup to go with my small coffee? Yes.
No.
But no, actually, no.
Yeah.
100% no.
You got to pay for that.
20 cents extra.
That's right. That's right. So what do you do in the first couple of days, first couple of weeks before you actually get things in there?
I dust things out.
Yeah.
So even though I clean it in the fall, I'm going to re-clean it.
That's right. And you dust up all the old
Organize
wasp
my
bodies.
pots. I'm going to mix some soil.
Oh my god.
I have dahlia bulbs in the fridge, so I have to sort through those and see what survived and what dried out.
Yeah. And are there any wasps left?
I have not ordered the wasps yet.
Okay,
No,
but
I
those are
highly
like
doubt they made it through the
Husks
winter.
of dead wasp in the greenhouse.
No, those should have all been cleaned out in the fall.
Oh, God.
when I got rid of the plants.
Oh, so they died very quickly.
Yeah.
Best kind of wasp.
No, they'll come in a couple weeks when I order them, probably.
So if people are starting to, I mean, obviously the weather's been pretty crazy this week, and people are, getting out there with their shorts or getting out there with the barbecues. Is there anything they could start doing now in the house for preparing for on the porch?
Well, I would
Flower
assume
now?
some people have. I did not jump on the wagon this year. I feel like last year I started my plants a little too early, so I'm just going to do it next week when I'm in the greenhouse. But yeah, start your tomatoes, your peppers, your broccolis.
Cauliflowers.
Wow.
Yeah. There's lots of stuff you can start indoor, but you just have to remember that these are going to grow, and they are probably not going to go outside until June. So make sure you have the space.
Now, last year at this time, cannabis was not legal.
No, it wasn't.
When we were talking to you first.
Yeah.
Now it is.
Yes.
There's
Tips
still
and hints.
room in the rack room.
That's right. We should put some in there.
Oh, God.
We should. It's warm enough. Tips and hints?
I don't know. I haven't grown it.
Oh.
I guess.
You're our horticulture expert.
So Google it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's what I do. Like, I have to look things up when I don't grow them, so I have to learn how to do it. But I don't know. Just make sure you have a good fertilizer to make the best product.
Do you have a go-to resource for when you, like in situations like that, when you don't know about a plant, or do you just Google it and kind of source a bunch of different information?
That's a good question. I will put it into Google. But sometimes, like a lot of the seed catalogs that you order from, like Bessie's and stuff, they have great growing tips. Like West Coast Seeds will have great growing tips on their website, or how to deal with specific seeds and stuff like that. So
very nice.
Yeah.
So I'm not from Yellowknife. So what do you grow in the greenhouse? Like, what do you have in there?
Well, the greenhouse I work at, I grow a lot of bedding plants for the clinic I work for. I work for Adam Dental Clinic, and then so we grow all our flowers for the garden beds, and then we switch over to vegetables.
This morning's Mornings at the Cabin brought to you by Adam Dental Clinic.
I know. Sorry for that.
For all your toothy needs and all your flower beds.
We are multi-purpose, like little clinic over there.
This morning, Morning at the Cabin brought to you by the multi-purpose dental clinic for your soil and Christmas-like needs.
So that's what we do.
Someone was telling me the other day about all of the beautiful plants in the downtown liquor store. Who was it? Someone on the air who was talking about that? I've never noticed.
There's beautiful plants in the
Apparently,
downtown liquor
there's
store.
a lot of
They have a
beautiful
lot of house plants in
out
there.
front.
Yeah.
And they have the flower
houseplants.
pots out front as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have like I think near their office they have quite the little
Yeah.
selection of houseplants there.
Oh, very nice.
Someone was
like
saying
now
they
that I'm
asked them
thinking of
about
it,
them,
yeah.
and I don't know who grows them for them. I was wondering if maybe it was you.
No,
Okay.
no, definitely not. I would
She only,
assume like
she only goes for today's sponsor, Adam Dental Clinic.
that's right. I would assume like
Cabin.
whoever's
Get all
working
your
in the
dental
store
and
takes
Christmas
care of
lights
those.
and landscaping.
That's a great
at
marketing
Adam
tip.
Dental Clinic.
Like,
Yeah.
people
Well, I
walk
never
by.
noticed them. That's the thing.
And they've
It's like,
like
I've
for the
literally
size of
never
those
seen a
plants, they've
plant.
probably had them for like a long
A long
time.
time.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it's those plants that bring people into the liquor store.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was gonna say, people
It's
walk
not
by
the
and they're
liquor at
like,
all.
"Oh wow, look at these beautiful plants." And then they walk in, they're like, "Oh, look at this vodka."
Look at this vodka.
Look at this beautiful vodka.
Mornings at the Cabin also brought to you by liquor. The cause and solution to all of life's problems.
Yeah.
That's an ad. Actually, you can't say that.
I can't say that.
responsibly.
Okay, I won't say
that's,
that.
that goes against the liquor laws in the
Yeah,
NWC.
it probably does.
So,
but I said liquor, not like a specific place where you can get it.
Yeah, but you're romancing
Just
it.
brought to you by booze. We're romancing it.
Brought
you're
to you
right.
by-
There's no ads that romanticize booze.
No, absolutely
Brought to you
not.
by horrible hangovers.
That's better. That's much better.
Which is the name, the AKA of the Mornings at the Cabin podcasts. Horrible hangovers. We really said that, huh? Yeah, we did.
Not so much my problem anymore.
Right on.
I'm still on like the no.
Are you?
Really
Still
no
dry?
This week I had a little bit of a
Wow.
setback,
Uh-oh.
but like the sweet taste of liquor passed my lips.
Oh my God.
But
Again,
Sorry,
Can
again,
you
we're
tone
not
down the
allowed to
romance?
romanticize liquor.
sorry. The nectar of.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, it did pass my lips this week, but
My goodness.
You've been doing since the start of 2019? Or was it before that you started?
no, 2019, yeah,
Yeah.
January. Yeah.
Wow.
So you failed.
Well done.
Is what you're saying.
Well, I mean,
Well, I mean, like I made it all. Like we made it to the third month. Let's
Pretty
say
good.
that.
that's pretty good.
pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, so hasn't been like 100% sober, but
Thank you for coming in.
oh,
as always.
Well, thanks
Start
for
coming back.
Yeah. No, totally. Now that I have a little bit more time in the mornings, especially while I wait for it to warm up in the greenhouse.
You looked over your shoulder there, kind of.
Yeah,
What's going on there?
Yeah, someone
I don't know.
watching me.
Okay.
I feel like I've been like poltergeisted the last couple little.
geez.
So like, is there someone there? I don't know.
Let's get into that
Let's
next week.
like next week we're gonna unpackage all of that.
Before we sign up, I just want to say hello to my nephew Barrow and niece Essex,
Hey,
who
Barrow
I
and
believe
Essex.
are in
No,
Costa Rica
that
right
is
now.
not allowed.
Listening to Cabin Radio every day. They love
Costa
listening to you
Rica.
guys.
Amazing.
This morning's Earnings of the Cabin brought to you by Barrow and Essex in Costa Rica for all your Leslie Creed anti-needs.
I know. I miss you guys. I'll see you soon.
All right.
Thanks for listening. Check out more from the show at cabinradio.ca.